Tiffany Henyard in court today over illegal appointments she allegedly made for several positions inside the village, among them.
Now she's teasing a big announcement that she claims will result in some of her opponents being arrested and charged.
Tiffany Henyard, once hailed as Thornton Township's political rising star, now finds herself embroiled in one of Illinois' most significant political crises in recent years. From her unexpected defeat at the recent Democratic caucus to the growing scandals and legal issues casting a shadow over her administration, it seems her time as super mayor may be coming to an end. But if there's one thing Tiffany Henyard is known for, it's creating a spectacle, and this latest chapter of her political career is no exception.
This month, the judge issued a temporary restraining order blocking her from making those appointments without approval from.
Picture a cold December evening in Homewood, Illinois, with hundreds of people, some bundled up against the chill, standing outside the Homewood Flossmoor Park District Auditorium. Inside, the atmosphere is thick with anticipation as the much-anticipated Democratic caucus is about to begin. This isn't just any political gathering. It's the first township caucus in Thornton in over 3 decades, and the stakes are incredibly high for Tiffany Henyard. For her, this event represents her last opportunity to secure a spot on the Democratic ballot for township supervisor. But as the evening progresses, it becomes evident that Henyard has a steep climb ahead.
I've said for a while, it's like, grassroots. It was organic when a lot of this thing started at the township, where the people were, just showing.
The auditorium, filled to its 600-person capacity, buzzed with anticipation. Supporters of State Senator Napoleon Harris, who also holds the role of Thornton Township Democratic Committeeman, had filled the room early. On the other hand, Henyard's buses, which were meant to bring senior citizens she had mobilized in her favor, arrived late. Many of her supporters were left standing outside, unable to enter. That's when the drama unfolded. As the caucus began, Henyard stormed into the room visibly upset. "You didn't run any of this the right way," she shouted at Harris, her voice reverberating through the packed hall. "Illegal, Napoleon." But her protests were ignored. In just 7 minutes, the caucus came to a swift end, with Harris declaring himself the Democratic nominee for township supervisor. The crowd erupted into cheers, with some even singing, "Na na na, hey hey hey, goodbye." It was a crushing blow for Henyard, who exited the building in tears, escorted by security, while her opponents celebrated their victory.
Supervisor Tiffany Henyard, who was appointed to that position tonight, lost her bid for the Democratic Party's nomination in this rare.
For Henyard, the defeat was a devastating blow, not just politically but financially. As township supervisor, she earned over $200,000 annually, making it one of the most lucrative local government positions in Illinois. Losing the nomination means she can no longer run as a Democrat, leaving her with little chance of running as a write-in candidate. However, that route seems unlikely to succeed, given her growing unpopularity and the scandals hanging over her. Henyard's downfall has been a long, slow unraveling, driven by accusations of corruption, extravagant spending, and a confrontational leadership style. Critics highlight her misuse of taxpayer funds for personal trips, lavish dinners, and even a poorly attended concert that cost over $85,000. Her administration has been described as chaotic, with township meetings often descending into shouting matches and trustees boycotting sessions altogether. This has led to a loss of respect in her field and jeopardized her family's political legacy. And then there's the FBI investigation, an ever-present shadow that only deepens the drama surrounding her downfall.
The home that she leased to Mayor Tiffany Henyard has filed eviction papers. She says Henyard has not paid her rent, and now
the residents of Thornton Township have become increasingly outspoken in their dissatisfaction, accusing Henyard of prioritizing her own interests over the needs of the community. Just because she's out doesn't mean Tiffany and her team shouldn't be indicted and prosecuted for government corruption. One commenter wrote, echoing the sentiments of many. It's a sharp fall from grace for Henyard, who was once seen as a rising political star. As one observer put it, Tiffany often just shouts over others in meetings. Now, she's the one being shouted down. The frustration among residents continues to grow, especially as Henyard continues to portray herself as a victim of a political conspiracy. During public meetings, she's accused her opponents of hijacking democracy and suppressing the people's will. Thousands have lost their lives, she claimed. However, critics argue that her rhetoric is little more than an attempt to deflect attention from her mounting scandals. Every time she gets called out, it's the same excuse. Everyone's out to get her, remarked one Thornton resident. But at some point, you have to take responsibility for your own actions. Adding to the community's disillusionment is the glaring contrast between Henyard's promises and her actual performance. When she first took office, she painted herself as a reformer committed to cleaning up local government and putting residents first. Yet her time in office has been clouded by allegations of financial mismanagement, questionable hiring practices, and a lack of transparency. For many, the tipping point came when it was revealed that Henyard's administration had spent over $100,000 on travel and luxury meals, while township programs for seniors and youth were reportedly underfunded. Henyard's handling of the caucus itself has also drawn heavy criticism. According to multiple reports, her team's disorganization played a significant role in her defeat. Critics noted that many of the seniors she had bussed in arrived late and were unable to gain entry due to poor planning. She didn't even have her own people organized, said one observer. How can someone lead a township when they can't even manage their supporters at a caucus? This logistical failure further tarnished her credibility, giving her opponents more ammunition to question her leadership and competence.
Making a late appearance at the Dolton Village Board meeting this evening. That meeting was being held at the Park District building since Village Hall cannot legally accommodate the crowds it attends.
Despite everything, Henyard's remaining supporters have been vocal in defending her leadership, arguing that she has been unjustly targeted by political adversaries intent on seeing her fail. This was a setup from the start, said one caucus attendee. They never gave her a fair chance. However, even some of her former supporters are beginning to doubt whether she can recover from the mounting scandals and legal issues. Her critics argue that her downfall was inevitable, given the numerous controversies surrounding her. One of the most damaging accusations is her misuse of township resources to advance her political goals. For example, during the caucus, she allegedly used township buses to transport supporters to the event, a move her opponents deemed unethical. Then there's the issue of her personal spending. A probe led by former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot into Henyard's financial dealings uncovered tens of thousands of dollars in questionable expenses, including an astonishing $43,000 spent on Amazon in a single day.
Court has reversed some of Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's decisions. At last night's village board meeting, Henyard announced a 30-day temporary.
Despite the mounting criticism, Henyard maintains that she's done nothing wrong. In an exclusive interview before the caucus, she dismissed the allegations as politically motivated attacks. "Y'all didn't run my name through the mud and do everything, but guess what? I'm going to grow from it," she said defiantly. She also alleged that the caucus process was rigged against her, accusing Harris of manipulating the rules to secure his victory. "If they could beat me, they would have gone to the polls," she asserted. The show will go on. However, not everyone is buying into Henyard's version of events. Legal experts and political analysts have largely rejected her claims of unfairness, emphasizing that the caucus followed standard procedures. "The process was followed, and it came out the way it was supposed to," Harris said after the event. Even some of Henyard's supporters appear to be losing faith, with some questioning her ability to lead amid the ongoing turmoil. "She came late and then had an attitude because they couldn't get in," one attendee remarked.
2 meetings in different locations. It was a little confusing for some residents, but the meeting here at Village Hall canceled after a few minutes because they didn't have.
As Henyard faces the aftermath of the caucus, her future is looking increasingly uncertain. The ongoing FBI investigation, coupled with multiple lawsuits and scrutiny from the Illinois Attorney General, suggests that legal troubles could be looming. Some speculate that she may face criminal charges, particularly if investigators find evidence of financial misconduct. Others believe she could file for bankruptcy, given the number of lawsuits she's currently battling. For Thornton Township, Henyard's departure signals the start of a new era, with Harris set to take charge. Many residents are hopeful that the township can finally move beyond the turmoil and restore confidence in local government. However, some remain doubtful, questioning whether Harris or any politician can truly bring about meaningful change. Meanwhile, Henyard remains resolute in her determination to fight. In a passionate speech following the caucus, she vowed to contest the results in court, labeling the process illegal and unfair. While her support base is shrinking, a small group of loyal followers remains, with some even vowing to write her name on the ballot in the upcoming April election.
But you don't even have a sense to even look in our face. But you rather just steal our money and do what you want to do.
Whether Henyard can make a successful comeback is still unclear. Her political career has become a textbook example of how power, ambition, and scandal can intersect, leaving a once promising leader in a downward spiral. As one commenter wisely put it, "The people have spoken, and Tiffany Henyard is out." Let's hope this marks the start of real change for Thornton Township. Henyard's story raises crucial questions about accountability, leadership, and the importance of public trust in local government. Will she be able to clear her name and reclaim her political position, or is this the end of a career marked by controversy and conflict? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this ongoing saga.